the next step on our journey is the coaching process. Let's spend some time exploring how you set expectations in order to enable results. When coaching, it is key that you set and clarify expectations, irregardless of what their performance style is. When setting and clarifying expectations, if you fail to build this foundation, your people will not achieve the desired outcome. Goal attainment is the name of the game when it comes to performance coaching. The coach and the coachee need to be on the same page of what the outcome needs to be. Based on the individual style, the coach needs to determine how involved the person should be in setting up the outcome. Let's look at some critical components of setting and clarifying expectations. Who? There must be clarity around who is responsible for delivering what. The what. What is everyone responsible for delivering? The how. How will we go about accomplishing our deliverable? How will we know when it is finished? How will we overcome challenges? How will we know when it's time to pivot or to pull out of the project altogether? The when. When are our due dates? When will we come together for project updates? It is critical that everyone is on the same page around the expectations. It is also critical everyone has all of the correct information in a timely fashion. If a pivot is necessary, discuss all the moving pieces. A part of the process is also providing timely feedback and recognition. Adjusting feedback is a component of coaching. However, many leaders are uncomfortable giving feedback. I encourage everyone to understand that feedback is different than criticism. Feedback and recognition must be timely in order to let your people know they are on the right path or if they should be making adjustments. Telling someone they did a good job without detailing what it is they did that was particularly good is ineffective feedback and can lead to more frustration. Providing meaningful feedback does require an element of trust and authenticity. People are not interested in being told all of the different ways they got something wrong. Nor are they interested in you telling them how you would have done it differently. If you would have done it differently, then you should have just done it yourself. Feedback is about providing your team members information to enable their growth. So when we think about great feedback, what does great feedback look like? Obviously, make sure the feedback is accurate. Keep the discussion about the performance and actions and not about the person. Providing balanced feedback means combining positive and adjusting feedback. The 4 components of great feedback is feedback should be significant, meaning it has to add value and is relevant to completing the task well. The feedback should be specific. You want to give details on what needs improvement and also what was done really well. Feedback should also be timely, meaning it should occur immediately upon recognizing the need. Great feedback should also be sincere. Your words, your tone, and your body language need to align in order to disclose the meaning of what you're trying to say. Now, let's look at some best practices when it comes to monitoring the performance of our team members. We'll first start with reluctant learners. When you are directing reluctant learners, you should provide a high level of structure and frequent monitoring. Feedback should be focused on redirecting and answering the questions of what, where, and when. At this level, your feedback needs to be very specific. Remember, reluctant learners are already running off the reservation before the project even really gets started. Maintaining a high level of structure and continuous feedback meetings is very important with reluctant learners. Continuously reiterate the goal of the work and the expected outcomes. Now let's move to enthusiastic beginners. With enthusiastic beginners, frequent monitoring and detailed feedback is important here. However, you will also need to include time to listen to the team members' thoughts on their performance and take the time to explain the impact their performance has on the big picture. Enthusiastic beginners want to understand the entire thing from A to Z. Taking the time to do that is actually quite beneficial. If you bring enthusiastic beginners along the way, that will aid them in making decisions during uncertainty because they understand what is at stake. Let's look at emerging contributors. When problem solving with emerging contributors, monitoring will be less frequent as the team member has consistently demonstrated an ability to be successful. As the leader, you want to focus on giving support, asking questions, and challenging for a higher level of success. Remember, emerging contributors are executors and they will deliver. When coaching emerging contributors, the focus is on challenging them to achieve more than what you've asked. You will always want to focus and be sure that emerging contributors aren't just doing all of the work themselves if they are working on a team project. Last but not least, let's look at our high performers. When delegating to high performers, they should own the task and they should check in with you as the leader for monitoring. You want to challenge for a higher level of success and be sure they have the resources and the proper recognition that's needed. High performers should really be owning their own performance. Typically, they are coming in ready to discuss what went well and what adjustments they need to make. Just because high performers can perform well independently does not mean you want to set and forget them.